Yo, what is up guys, my name's Hakiii, and with the Agents of Sabotage DLC, we got a bunch more vehicles that are now Imani Tech upgradable, so the list of Imani Tech vehicles is now massive, and you already know I have to make an updated version of the best Imani Tech vehicles in GTA Online since we have so many to go over now, so these are going to be the best ones, starting with the Benefactor Krieger. The second I saw this thing on the list of newly Imani Tech upgradable vehicles, I was extremely excited because this supercar is awesome and one that I actually use in free roam. The Krieger is one of the, if not the best supercar in the game, especially for racing, but also people use it a lot to go around in free roam, so this one's actually a very substantial one, but also people use it to go around free roam a lot too. It's a very fast supercar that you can now equip the missile lock-on jammer on, so the fact you can finally be pretty freaking safe in free roam with this car is awesome. The Banshee GTS, being a new sports car in GTA Online, is also an amazing Imani Tech upgradable vehicle. Of course, you can put the missile lock-on jammer on it and this HSW upgradable at the same time, so it's actually one of a kind. Not too many vehicles are both Imani Tech upgradable and HSW upgradable, but if you do play on current gen consoles, then you are able to upgrade it with both. It's really fast with those HSW mods, and if you put that missile lock-on jammer, you're going to be pretty safe in free roam. Also a very good option in the super/sports class. So let's dive into a different type of vehicle class, and that's going to be the off-road class with the Terminus. It is still my favorite off-road vehicle, and such a good looking one as well. It's a super realistic looking Jeep. It's got a ton of customization on it. It performs really well, so honestly there's little downside to this one. The cost is a bit expensive for the off-road class, just under 2 million, but it's not that bad compared to supercars and sports cars. Highly recommend getting this one, especially since it's got Imani Tech too. And as a quick disclaimer, you do actually need an agency to upgrade all these vehicles with Imani Tech, so that's pretty much the only place you can put Imani Tech on cars, so make sure you own that to actually upgrade all these awesome vehicles. Another huge W with the new list of Imani Tech upgradable vehicles is the Bati 801 motorcycle. In previous car videos, I've talked a good amount about the Bati 801, especially in the best beginner vehicles. It's an awesome beginner vehicle, one of the best if not the best one, and it's really a motorcycle that every single GTA Online player should own because it costs only 15,000 bucks, literally less than most weapons you can buy in the game. It's crazy to think about because fully upgrading this thing isn't going to be nearly as much as actually putting a missile lock-on jammer on this thing, which would be, I believe, about $400,000. So in total, you can get an Imani Tech upgraded, fully upgraded motorcycle for just about $500,000. That's extremely cheap. Nonetheless, awesome to see this motorcycle being Imani Tech upgradable. The livery version of this one, the Bati 801 RR, is also Imani Tech upgradable, but everyone usually goes for the regular version of the Bati. There were a couple of motorcycles that turned Imani Tech upgradable recently, but I decided to choose only another one, that being the Shotaro motorcycle, another extremely fast bike which is much more expensive than the Bati, but if you happen to have it, you can also make it a very safe vehicle to drive around in free mode, and it's a really cool looking Tron bike at the end of the day. The Duke of Death is another really good option for an Imani Tech upgradable vehicle, also introduced as one of the new ones. You can get it for absolutely free by connecting your GTA account to your Rockstar Social Club account, and then you'll see it as free in the Warstock website, so super useful vehicle that's already armored. It's bullet and explosive resistant, so if you add that missile lock-on jammer, this is actually such a good vehicle. Another great option is one that we've known about for a while, the Buffalo STX, arguably the best muscle car in the game. Outstanding performance, really good looks, and honestly a fan favorite in the community. In a lot of people's eyes, this is the superior muscle car in the game. The Ocelot Virtue is one that everyone should own because you can actually get the supercar for completely free by completing the first and last dose missions. If you haven't done that yet, make sure to do that so you get a $2.2 million supercar for free, and then you can actually put Imani Tech on it. This Virtue is known for having some ridiculously fast acceleration. Another good option right there. Let's mix it up with a police car. So there's a lot of police cars that got Imani Tech, but I chose just one just so we don't have a bunch. The Gauntlet Interceptor is the one I went with, basically the police version of the Hellfire. Actually, the Hellfire got Imani Tech itself, but I feel like the Interceptor is just a little cooler. The Turismo Omaggio is to this day one of my favorite supercars in the game. You can't go wrong with a modern looking Ferrari like this. It's got some great customization customization to it, and you can equip that missile lock-on jammer to be much safer in free roam. It's one of the best looking cars in the game in my opinion, plus a great performing supercar. It's definitely competitive in races, and that's a recipe for success in terms of the best supercars in the game. Another good option we have in the muscle class is the Vigero ZX, another fan favorite. I feel like the Buffalo STX and the Vigero ZX are the two favorite muscle cars of the community in the game, and it is yet another car that's newly Imani Tech upgradable, which is great news. This might be a hot take, but I feel like the Vigero ZX is a better looking car than the Buffalo STX, and the Vigero is yet another vehicle that's both Imani Tech and HSW upgradable, and with HSW it is really fast, especially for the muscle class. Then we have the Stirling GT, which I think is also HSW upgradable. It's a really cool looking car with a great engine sound. It's got one of the best engine noises in the game, and in recent years Rockstar actually added more customization to this car, so the customization with it is great, with liveries and a couple of other options. Yet another amazing sounding car is actually a supercar this time, and that is the XA21 that also got the missile lock-on jammer as a new upgrade in the agency, and I feel like the supercar is not really talked about too much. I think it's a bit underrated. It might just be in my top 10 favorite supercars in the game, and I'm glad that you can actually drive it around while being safe. The Zentorno is a great beginner supercar to have, and even if you're not a beginner, I mean, this car's been around forever, and so it's a GTA 5 OG and deserves a ton of respect from everyone, and it is also on the list of new Imani Tech vehicles. Now, we can't forget about the Stinger TT. It's one of the, if not the fastest land vehicle with HSW. When it comes to those top speeds, this thing is ridiculously fast and borderline uncontrollable. It competes with the Hakiii drag for the fastest top speed in the game. Definitely get this one if you have the money, but it is pretty expensive to fully upgrade it with HSW and with Imani Tech. The Jubilee takes the crown for the best luxurious Imani Tech vehicle based off the Rolls-Royce Cullinan. For an SUV, the Jubilee is a great option. Also, an honorable mention goes to the Illusion. If you're looking more for a drift car, the Futo GTX is also one of the new upgradable ones. I know a lot of people like cars like the Futo and the Futo GTX, so luckily Rockstar didn't forget you when thinking about new Imani Tech upgradable cars. An electric Audi, the Omnis EGT, is another great option. It's not one of the new options, but I still consider it one of the best cars to use with Imani Tech. Really good acceleration and awesome customization. Those are the main highlights with the Omnis EGT for me. The JB700W is what I like to call the 007 wagon. It definitely looks like a car 007 would use, and it's actually got a machine gun on the front of it, so technically it is weaponized, and for defensive purposes it is one of the new vehicles that got Imani Tech, so it's both a safe vehicle to drive and you can actually light up some people with that minigun on the front of it, which isn't too powerful, but it's there if you want it. Another supercar that got Imani Tech added to it is the S80RR. I never really see anyone using this in free roam, but for races it's actually a fantastic one to use. One of the more competitive supercars in the game, very fast, and I figured if it's good for races, it's pretty fast, and so you can definitely use it in free roam if you wanted to. Let me know what other vehicles I should have included on this list, or what other vehicles should Rockstar add Imani Tech to, since they added it with so many different vehicles at this point. Drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe if you're new for more awesome videos like these that you do not want to miss. And if you like this one, chances are you're gonna like the video on the screen right now. I hope you all enjoy that video, and peace.